The New York Giants have not had the best of luck when it comes to the depth on the offensive line so far at the beginning of training camp, as they've already suffered a couple of injuries to their depth in the offensive line, as well as had a little bit of inefficient play with some of the other guys. So the New York Giants knew they had to try to bring in some depth to that offensive line to try to shore it up and see if maybe they can find a diamond in the rough with some of the guys they have. Now late last week, the New York Giants ended up signing journeyman Will Holden, who last played with the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2021. And he's going to provide a potential competition for the reserve swing tackle role for the offensive line. Well, the New York Giants ended up bringing in another offensive lineman yesterday after they gave him a workout. And that's 3-year veteran, former New York Jet, and actually former New York Giant, Eric Smith. Now, the 6'4", 312-pound Eric Smith, 26 years old, he's from Virginia, and he's been in the league since 2017, where he was signed as an undrafted free agent from the Miami Dolphins, but mainly spent his entire season in 2017 on the practice squad before he was waived in the beginning of 2018, where he spent a couple of stints in the NFL with the New England Patriots as well as the New York Jets, where he only was primarily on the team's practice squad. And then he eventually was waived in 2019 towards the beginning of training camp, where he then signed on with the New York Giants, and he got most of his snaps with the Giants, and that's where he got most of his playing time, where he played in a couple of games and got at least 10 snaps with the NFL in 2019 before he was eventually waived in the beginning of 2020. And he spent 2020 on the Cowboys practice squad, and then he eventually was waived from there, and he played on the Arizona Cardinals on 2021, where he was eventually waived again. So Eric Smith has been a guy that has been signed and been placed on teams' practice squads, but he's never really had the opportunity in terms of having it to show what he could do in the NFL and getting a team giving him a chance. He's mainly been on everybody's team's practice squads except for the New York Giants, where he spent his most time playing in the NFL. But mainly he's been a practice squad guy. But what can we see from the 6'4", 312-pound offensive tackle from Virginia is another guy and another potential body you're going to throw in there who could maybe win the swing tackle role, because right now it's between him and Will Holden. Those are your two guys right now battling for the swing tackle role after the unfortunate injury news surrounding Matt Gono and Marcus McKethan earlier this training camp. So you have to hope that either Eric Smith and or Will Holden are going to be able to get the job done and show Brian Daboll and this coaching staff enough that they can be relied on as potential swing tackle guys for the New York Giants going into the season. Because we all know that Matt Parrott, who right now is the potential swing tackle in the wings, is right now on the PUP list, and we don't know exactly when Matt Parrott is going to be coming back from the PUP list, since he tore his ACL at the end of last year, and he's going to probably most likely miss some of the games in the beginning of the season due to the recovering from the torn ACL he had last year. So Eric Smith is another body that's going to be brought into the New York Giants. Going to have to see what this guy can do, what he can provide. He's a journeyman offensive lineman that has never really gotten a complete chance, but hasn't shown enough to be a guy that you could count on as your swing tackle going forward. So maybe Eric Smith, another guy, maybe with the chip on his shoulder, seeing what he can do. He's played with the New York Giants once before. Maybe he can come in here, show something during training camp and preseason, and win out that. Maybe beat Will Holden and win that swing tackle position for the New York Giants going forward. So that's just my news and nuggets right now for today. Another roster update. The New York Giants signed former Dolphin, Cardinal, Jet, Patriot, and New York Giant Eric Smith, 6'4", 312-pound offensive tackle, has been in the league for at least 3 years, ever since being an undrafted free agent signed by the Miami Dolphins in 2017. And he's going to try to provide the New York Giants with some depth offensive line and offensive tackle position, and see if maybe he could be the swing tackle going into the 2022 NFL season. So if you like the video, please hit the like button below. Subscribe if you haven't already to NYG Jeffy T 3285 for more news, updates, and chatter surrounding the New York Giants, Brooklyn Nets, New York Mets, WWE wrestling, as well as food for thought. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next short or video that drops surrounding the New York Giants. Leave a comment below on what you think about the latest signing by the New York Giants, Eric Smith, 3-year veteran out of Virginia, and if you think that he has a shot at possibly making the roster as the New York Giants swing tackle going into the season, or if you think he's just pretty much a camp body for the rest of training camp and preseason. So thank you very, very much, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Giants. Together Blue.